It costs $0 to become a video editor, and there's never been a better time to start. In this video, you're going to learn the exact blueprint of how I started video editing on a trash cheap computer with zero experience and $0 invested, and how I grew that to working alongside my idols, gaining hundreds of millions of views across my work, and making six figures with video editing completely from scratch. A few years back when I was first learning video editing, I used a really bad free editing software that looked like it was from the 90s. Then I got frustrated with how bad it was and moved over to Premiere Pro, which is a paid program that I continue to use to this day, but there is actually a free alternative that works super well. More and more successful editors are choosing to use DaVinci Resolve, which actually has a free version that isn't very far off the paid version. One of my students, Jaya, uses DaVinci Resolve and has followed the blueprint you'll learn in this video almost exactly. And within a few months of starting, he's now earning a solid income online from video editing. So now we've downloaded DaVinci Resolve for free and we're sat looking at the software, which looks very intimidating and confusing. What on earth do we do next? I've made tons of big mistakes as a video editor, and one of my biggest regrets when I was learning video editing was wasting time on not knowing the right tools for the job. I've wasted days of my life doing tasks that didn't need doing because they could have been automated or done in a matter of seconds by a free tool. Simply not knowing about tools can cost you a ton of time and effort, and I value your time, so I'm not going to list out every single free tool I use and why, but here's a few of my favorite free tools that will be useful to you as a video editor. Feel free to screenshot these and check them all out. I'll put a link to all of these in the video description. So now we've got our free software and our free tools sorted. How do we actually learn to master video editing and get good enough to make some money? When I first started learning video editing, yes, it seemed complicated and daunting at first. Yes, I spent a fair amount of time confused, but if you know this one trick, it's a whole lot easier. One of the key skills that we'll talk about a lot in this video, and one that's essential for not just video editing but doing anything online, is problem solving. The better your problem solving is, the more money you make, because you can identify high importance problems and find ways to make lots of money fixing them at scale. In practice, what I did was watch videos from my favorite creators, and fueled by nothing but passion and energy drinks, I'd sit there and replicate their videos and try to recreate their exact effects, animations, title cards, whatever. I personally looked up to creators like Ali Abdaal, James Jani and Iman Gadji for editing inspiration, and I'll leave a link in the description to hundreds of video clips from large YouTubers that you can also get inspiration from. This unstructured way of learning is great if you just want to get stuck in and get hands-on experience straight away. As well as doing this, there's also tons of free tutorials online where you can learn the basics. But something I never see anyone talk about is the power of creating your own content. You can record your own videos about things you're passionate about and edit them yourself, and this is exactly what I did when I first started, and it gives you an incredibly valuable skill set of being responsible for the full production of the video from initial idea to script to edit. Now we're getting stuck in with DaVinci Resolve. This next very small, simple switch is the difference between making $0 at this stage and making thousands of dollars per month from video editing. If someone paid you $10,000 into your bank account right now to firstly find a client and then create some videos for them, you'd receive the $10,000 and instantly get to work on solving the problem. You'd figure it out. So why aren't you figuring it out preemptively to get to that $10,000 at the end? Let's get the foundation sorted to enable you to get your first editing client and get that $10,000 into your bank. Firstly, let's head over to Canva, a free graphic design website, to create a very simple logo and brand. We can make a very simple text logo, for example, and use one color which we can then use for our website later on. Next, we're going to set up an X or Twitter profile, which is where a lot of our dream clients hang out and where we're going to do a portion of our outreach later on. You can use Bento or Card to create a free portfolio website to start sharing some of the videos that you've worked on so far, even if it's just showing the edits that you've been replicating from big creators. So long as you make it clear that these are sample videos, it's fine to build your portfolio with these. Bento and Card are super simple portfolio website builders, but if you want something a bit more customizable and capable, you can go for Squarespace's 14-day free trial, which is exactly what I did when I was starting out. Next, how exactly do we find dream clients? The method I'm going to show you allowed me to land a 1 million subscriber YouTuber as my first client as a beginner video editor, as well as send out one single piece of outreach and get over 20 YouTubers with 100,000 or more subscribers begging to work with me. This method I'm about to show you has been proven time and time again. But just before we dive into that, a great example of this blueprint being executed is my student Jaya, who we mentioned earlier. He joined my program Editors Academy just a few months ago, and since then has gone on to generate thousands of dollars from video editing. If this sounds like a position you'd love to be seeing in a few weeks or few months from now, I created Editors Academy for you. I built the video training, the cheat sheets, the super helpful community, the live calls, all around what I would have wanted when I first started video editing to fast track my success. So if you want to level up your video editing, find high paying clients on demand, and learn the exact strategies behind becoming a pro video editor in just 14 days, feel free to hit the first link in the description and join Editors Academy. So outbound marketing is when you approach the client and say, hey, do you want my video editing services? Whereas inbound marketing is where you attract the client and the client approaches you and says, hey, can I have your video editing services? Luckily, with this method, we can combine both of these into what I call high value outreach. Step 1 is to create a hit list of dream clients that you'd love to work with. The best clients to go for here are ones whose content you'd watch anyway, which makes the editing much more fun. You're going to want to aim for YouTubers from roughly 100,000 subscribers to 5 million, who have good sponsors, good views, and a solid business behind them. This makes them big enough to have a lot of money to pay you what you're worth, but not so big to where they'd have an in-house team. Step 2, we're going to download an unedited video from them. This could be a podcast, an old video, or just a raw creator, for example. If the first YouTuber on your hit list doesn't have this, simply move on to the next YouTuber on your hit list. The market and opportunity is almost infinite. Step 3 is to invest a ton of time into re-editing this video and creating your free sample video. Step 4, tweet, DM, and email the YouTuber your re-edited sample video. Now, once you get the ball rolling and start gaining clients, and most of all tangible results for those clients, I've seen a lot of killer freelancers using Drippy AI, which allows you to send out highly personalized outreach messages on X, which seems to be where all the top YouTubers and entrepreneurs hang out online. This allows you to increase your potential of landing clients in the background whilst you work manually on your high value outreach too, and ultimately allows you to get your case studies in front of ideal clients. I'll leave a link to some free training the team over at Drippy made that I found useful, because ultimately, if you disregard the label of video editor and see everything through the lens of an entrepreneur or a marketer marketing your own services, you're going to get a lot further and execute this entire blueprint a lot easier. I actually created a full video going in depth on how I've found dream YouTuber clients in the past, and I even share the exact email and DM templates that have worked for me and a ton of my students. I think you'll find that video valuable to watch next. Thank you very much for watching.